What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw Forward TV. So sometimes I get accused by a few, of being a sellout or a coon or whatever, right? Because I primarily go after the Democratic Party and their leaders in a lot of my videos. And they probably wonder why I don't go after Republicans. Well, because I do. But the problem is, number one, they're not the party in power right now. And number two, it's the Democratic Party that is the party that has the massive hypnosis over us right now when it comes to our blind loyalty. Look, we all know that Candace Owens, we all know that Larry Elder, we all know that others like them, we know what they're about. The people who are they're beholden to don't look like us. The people who they cater to don't look like us and usually don't like us. And they are personally, politically, and financially beholden to these people. So they openly mock us, throw us under the bus, and make us out to be the problem in this society. They do it with relish. They love it. And I can't stand them. We all don't like them. It makes no difference whether or not they make a point or two that we agree with. Ultimately, they are our enemy. However, for all of that, what they say doesn't have influence in our community. Al Sharpton, as corrupt as he is, has infinitely more credibility in the black community than Candace Owens. I mean, Candace Owens may tip the ear of some intellectuals or some more conservative members of our community, but ultimately, things that she stands for, the people who she represents and praise, is anathema to us as a people. So anyway, I just want to point that out. But I find something very interesting, right? This is what I find interesting. You know, I talk to a lot of people who are non-black and who are Trump supporters, and it's the same thing I found during the Obama administration. It's so crazy to me. Um, on the one hand, when it comes to all of these mass shootings that have happened, Buffalo, which they conveniently have just forgotten about, Uvalde, the shooting last night in Philadelphia South Side, the recent shootings at a festival in Oklahoma, where police once again didn't do their damn jobs. They're at the festival, but somehow a person got killed and 8 people got shot. How did that person get off 9 fucking shots minimum? How did that person get off all those shots with police there and still live? Anyway, the hospital shooting, all these other shootings. There have been at least 140 mass shootings this year alone. When I talk about these tragedies to certain people who are Trump supporters, they like to indicate that they think it's these are false flags. They think these are conspiracies to push gun control, right? These are conspiracies. They believe that still to this day that the election of 2020 was rigged. Even Michael Francese, the mob boss turned pastor, whatever the hell he is, who I had to recently unsubscribe from because his channel's becoming more political. I didn't turn to I didn't turn to his channel for his political acumen. I turned to his channel because I wanted to hear about his mob uh, stories. guess they're running dry. So now he's talking about politics and shit. But anyway, it's funny how they'll say on the one end the Biden administration is this Machiavellian, uh, you know, this Machiavellian, you know, sort of crooked mastermind, evil, like Biden is capable of all of these infinitely grand schemes and evil deeds to, to trick Americans. Like he's this mastermind. But on the other end, he's a feeble-minded old man who's been manipulated by those around him. You know what I'm saying? Like on the one end, Joe Biden is this mastermind politician, evil dark lord. And on the other end, he's Forrest Gump, an old Forrest Gump, feeble-minded, and nobody respects him, and he's a failure. He's a failure. His administration's a failure, and he's just mentally incompetent, and incapable of being president. But the thing that gets me the most is they believe that they can believe in all these conspiracies that the Democrats from the president of the United States all the way to the goddamn local county clerk were all in on this grand scheme to steal the election from Trump. Every one of them. Even though there's more evidence to show that the 2016 election was more uh, you know corrupt than 2020. They can believe that. They can believe that all these shootings are nothing but goddamn false flags to try to trick Americans into being behind gun control, to take that right from us. They can believe all of this. But somehow, when we talk about systemic racism, there's no chance of that. Oh, a system that's designed to be against those who are not in power? What are you talking about? You people are just paranoid. I tell you. You people, look, this racism thing doesn't exist anymore. It hasn't existed since the Civil War. I wish you black people would just get over it. Get over racism. It doesn't exist. But you know what does exist? This conspiracy. It doesn't make any sense. Trump was up 600,000 votes on election night. How did he lose Pennsylvania? It doesn't make any sense. But, duh. It's funny, duh. Didn't they say that all of those votes that were banked, early votes, were like 80% Democratic? I mean, they were saying this. I mean, look. I mean, I know I remember that. Ever since early voting was a thing, the Democrats were banking votes, and they said that the people who voted election day were going to be 70 to 80% Trump supporters. So it makes perfect sense that on election day, the votes that they were counting, which were the votes that were on election day, those were the first votes they were counting, the votes that were tabulated on election day. That's why Trump had that overwhelming lead. But his vote tally was going to start being erased as the early votes were going to start being tabulated after election day, which is what happened. But they conveniently lied to you gullible idiots and told the election was rigged. Those who don't follow the election process because they just know shit because, hey, I'm who I am and I'm just smart, even though I don't know a damn thing about the political process anymore. Hey, the election was rigged. It was rigged. What about the states in 2016 that Hillary had a lead in and Trump came back? You don't hear us saying, oh, it was rigged.